Hello, BYU Idaho students. My name is Jenna Bental, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about my internship experience with Fox Pest Control. Now, I know what you're thinking. Marriage and family and pest control? What? Let me tell you a little bit about my experience so that you can better understand that yes, there is a great correlation between the two. So, my husband and I last summer, we did summer sales with Fox Pest Control, and we ended up having a great summer. We learned a lot and felt like we really understood a lot more about ourselves, about our relationship, and how to provide for our family. But I also recognized that a lot of the other wives on our team had a really difficult time during the summer. The summertime is really hard for everyone for different reasons. But I noticed that these wives especially had a really difficult time. So because of that, I recognized that Fox Pest Control was a wonderful company with wonderful core values that they teach their representatives. But they don't necessarily focus on the wives, which I know that that's not their job. And so that's why I noticed the need to help these wives in some way. So what I ended up doing was I went to the owner of the company and I said, I love your company core values. I love what you teach your representatives, but I also understand that the wives need some attention on them too. So I said, is it okay if I do my internship with you guys next summer, build a program for the wives and help them develop their skills, their talents, help them understand that they have incredible potential too, and not just their husbands? And the owner of the company, his jaw dropped to the ground and he said, yes, we have been looking for something like this and we just haven't known what to do. So thank you, Jenna. So my advice is to be bold. I was bold, but I wasn't overbearing. I didn't tell him he was doing everything wrong. I just let him know that I loved what he was doing and I wanted to help him continue to do good things for his company. So my internship consisted of a lot of different responsibilities. For instance, the first one I wanted to talk about was gathering information. Unfortunately, a marriage and family internship isn't just rainbows and butterflies and sitting on the couch listening to people's problems all day. In order to effectively help people and build up this program, I needed to gather a lot of information. I needed to look into a lot of different resources and go back and restudy things that I had learned in this degree with BYU Idaho. So because I was able to gather that information and understand a lot more about the need of this company and the wives, I helped my supervisor, Andrea, create the Foxy Wives program. So that's what she wanted to call it for all the ladies of the company, so that they were able to build themselves up in different ways, help each other out, know that they're taken care of, and many other things. So the next responsibility is repeated a few times because it was so important. Meetings, meetings, meetings. I had so many meetings, and every single one was necessary. I would have a meeting with my supervisor, especially at the beginning where we were developing the program together, creating everything we needed. But then, with the second part of my internship, that's when it was being implemented throughout the company. There are 20 different branches in Fox Pest Control, and so I couldn't go to every branch. I was just in one branch. So what my supervisor, Andrea, and I did is we had a coordinator or one particular wife in charge of all the other ladies in their branch. And each week I would have a meeting with that coordinator of each branch and talk to them about the ladies in that branch, talk about how the program was, the individual needs of every single wife, and just make sure that each wife is being taken care of. So that goes along with the next responsibility, helping spread the vision. I was able to help these coordinators understand what the program was and understand how to help their ladies. So I was able to offer guidance and suggestions to them, because if I was understanding each individual in their branch, they could ask questions and voice their concerns about specific individuals, and then we could talk about different things, what they could do to help that wife. So the second part of my internship, like I briefly mentioned, was that I was able to be the coordinator with the Boston branch. So I was able to help, or hopefully help, the ladies in my branch. by implementing the program and helping them understand their value as a person, as a woman, as a wife, throughout the summertime. So the last responsibility I felt was that I needed to help every lady of Fox be courageous and have hope and understand that they have value. And so that was something that we really wanted to make sure the program helped each individual with. So there were a few benefits that I wanted to touch on with this particular internship. I loved that Fox wanted help, but they didn't know what exactly they needed. So I was able to help my supervisor, Andrea, create this program to help every individual within all 20 of the branches. And so, like I mentioned, I had a lot of meetings with the coordinators, but then we also created this social media page, if you can see that in the middle of the screen. And so each day we would post something different, whether it was a little lighthearted, like different recipes, or if it was really deep and in depth with different resources, information. So for instance, like we would sometimes have date night discussions and different topics for the wives to consider and then to talk about with their spouses. We also had different posts focusing on personal wellness, whether it was physical, intellectual, social, all the different dimensions of wellness we wanted to focus on at a different point throughout the summer, so that each wife really could build their strength in that area. But I wanted to also mention that this program, I didn't want it to just be a one and done. I didn't want it to just be for this summer. Yes, I recognize that this summer was different with the virus, but this program was developed so that it was mostly a guideline, so that in years to come, they can continue to keep up with the program. Yes, they can update it and do different things that they need to with it, but I didn't want it to just be for this summer only. I also recognized the benefit of this particular internship was that it took a burden off of the owner's shoulders. They didn't have to worry about the wives in the same way because they knew the wives were being taken care of. And they also knew that if there was a need, a specific need in their branch, we would get a hold of them and they would be able to be on top of the problem or their concern right away, instead of people beating around the bush or not understanding or recognizing the problem in time. So I loved that benefit of the internship. Also, my supervisor definitely was grateful because she had lots of projects to focus on. And so the fact that I was able to take this off of her shoulders and really deepen the program, create the program, and help with the wives, I know that that was a big help so that she could focus on other projects the company needed. So then with the second part, really quickly, with the second part of my internship, when I was implementing the program in the Boston branch, it was amazing to see how helpful our knowledge is that we get at BYU Idaho by helping these ladies understand that they are an individual that's important, helping them understand how to build up their relationship with their spouse and build up skills and talents that they have or that they can create. These ladies in this picture were some of the ones in my Boston branch, and this I will talk about in just a minute, but this was the baby shower that we had for the girl in the middle in the mustard colored shirt. So let me tell you a little bit about her in just a second. A few connections that I made between the coursework and my internship were focused on some things I learned in my family theories class a little while ago. So the first one was the symbolic interactionism theory. Let me give you an example so you can paint a picture in your head. So basically, a lot of the times the summer sales representative is the husband, and the wife is one that goes out in the summertime with him to an unfamiliar place, and the summer sales rep goes and sells all day long, and the wife is stuck at home. Now, a lot of the wives are in that same situation. However, every single wife interprets that situation differently. They have their own perspective. So even though they're in the same situation, they have their own perspective of what's going on. So that's the symbolic interactionism theory. So understanding that really helps me understand how to help an individual, not necessarily just the wives, but the individuals in the program. So then the second connection was with the family systems theory. So I wanted to focus on the roles. So in that picture that I just showed you in the previous slide, that girl, that wife, she was telling me at the beginning of the summer how her role shifts during the summer as a wife. Like being a wife of a college student is very different than your role of being a wife of a summer sales representative, because during summer sales, your husband's gone all day long. And so your role as a wife is really different. And so you have to understand how to shift and how to change that role. So with her specifically, she ended up having her baby during the summertime. And so her role as a mother became a part of her life during the summer. And so she had to understand how to shift her roles even more to become the mom that her baby needed. So for me, I feel like I benefited in so many ways from this internship. The biggest thing though that I wanted to touch on was that I need to always be learning and updating the information that I know. Because at the beginning of the internship, I thought, oh, I've got this. I know how to help these ladies. I just have taken all of these great courses. BYU Idaho has prepared me. And yes, even though I had a lot of great information, it was so good for me to recognize that I don't know it all, that I need to continue to deepen my knowledge, to deepen my understanding of how to help others and what's going on in the world and how we can use the resources that we have here to benefit and give value to other people. And so that was just one way that the Foxy Wives program helped me, was for me to take a step back and humble myself and say, you know what, this program actually helped me more than it probably helped a lot of these ladies, because I needed to understand that I always need to be learning. So lastly, I just want to recommend this internship to any of you that want to have a challenge, that want to make a difference, that want to help bring change and to build up other people. This internship taught me so many things, and I'm very grateful for it. So yes, I would recommend it. I would recommend just do it. So the way that you would just do it is I would suggest contacting different owners of summer sales companies and ask who to talk to help them create a program for their wives. Most summer sales companies don't have a program. Fox Pest Control now does have their program, and I'm so happy for them because now they can take that program and continue to keep it up with the years to come. So I would recommend doing that for any summer sales company that you can get in contact with, because it was a great internship. Well, good luck with your internships. I hope that this was able to help you see a little bit more into a different perspective or into a different internship. Like I said, good luck. Thank you for letting me help you today.